Okay, today I'm going to do a really quick review of a DMR radio that I've been testing. This works really good. Basically, I don't use my Hytera or the motor turbo near as much. These are around 250, around 300 with a programming cable, and it's just not worth risking a $500 or $600 radio when these are available. These work just as good. They're waterproof. On my site, on my blog entry, basically I show some photos of where I'm actually using this during swift water, where this radio is completely underneath the water on a life jacket for probably about a 4-hour operation. So these are really good radios. I have taken some of this apart. All of this lower end is sealed. There's two security bits down there at the bottom that hold those together, and this is completely sealed. The antenna section is completely sealed. The only ways water can really get into the unit is around the speaker area, and these actually have a basically a gasket that actually goes up around the shaft. So you want to be real careful if you ever have to take these off that you don't damage that gasket. But like I say, this radio has as good or better audio than my motor turbo or my Hytera unit. Battery life is great. I believe these come with a 2800, actually they're a 2200 milliamp hour battery. Very compact, feels really good. The radio is pretty weighty, but it's on par with any of the other vendors. I just wanted to show you real quick, one of the reasons I really like this radio is it basically will show you actually the channel name and the frequency, which is a really nice feature. I don't have that on the motor turbo. It just has a liquid crystal display that shows a very limited amount of information. And the Hytera, will just show you the channel name. DTMF does work on this radio. This is a TD-503. I believe there's another version of this that does not have PL tones, but this works fine on analog repeaters. The programming software is really easy to use. The programming cable, I believe, is around 15 bucks, and it basically goes into this watertight connector. Like I say, audio on the radio is really good. I'm going to leave it on here just so you can kind of hear startup message. It's really clear. The screen is actually really easy to read. I've got this one turned into battery save mode, so it doesn't really stay on very long. But really easy radio to use. It does actually send GPS coordinates to the remote party if you want to send a message. Give your GPS coordinates. Text messaging works just fine on the motor turbo system. Here we have a local DMR channel and connections to NCPRN, and I've talked on both those networks without any issues. Interoperability with motor turbo is no problem. I did have a little bit of difficulty with the Hytera against the Hytera repeater that I have. This isn't compatible with Hytera. A lot of Hytera's extra tier 2, tier 3 type stuff. I believe these are tier 2 radios. I haven't used any of the advanced functionality, but I believe these support up to tier 2. Later, when I get a little bit more time on this, like I say, I've had this about 4 months. This has been climbing, swift water, dropped, beat. I don't know if you can kind of see. It's been dropped several times, and really there's no damage to the plastic. There's some dirt. When I get it dirty, I basically take it over to the sink and wash it off. It's pretty durable. The menu options are really easy to read. I'm not a super big fan of the font. It doesn't look great necessarily, but it is easy to read. So I mean, it's not the nice fancy fixed Android font, but it's just a really basic font that is easy to read. One nice feature that I really like is the actual ability. I'm going to get to it here in the menu just to show you. There's a couple of modes on the GPS, power save and high performance, obviously. Another nice feature is you can actually get to the GPS from the menu. The particular firmware version on this radio is R20211. I haven't seen any other firmware versions. They may exist. And basically the way you get to the radio is you go to radio info. Once that GPS is actually turned on, you have two options. You can, and you can also do send GPS data, where you type in your remote contact, or you can select from your contacts list and actually send your GPS coordinates to somebody, which is really nice feature, especially this being a Part 90 certified radio. If you're using this at, at a fire department, rescue squad, etc., these work really great. That's what I've been using this for a lot, is just to coordinate coordinates, and it's really nice not to have to carry an extra GPS. Typically I use my iPhone anyway, but this is just one really nice way to get an accurate GPS coordinate without having to carry extra batteries and extra components. Again, this is a BFDX. This is available from several vendors on eBay. The complete part number is BF-TD-503, and it's a UHF digital transceiver. It's using the motor turbo DMR spec. Really nice radio, sub $300. Highly recommend it. At some point I'll do a teardown of this when I get a little bit more age on it. I had a little bit of trouble. There's actually security screws. I believe it's a number 2 bit with a that's actually, I need a screwdriver instead of an actual bit because it's so close up to the edge. But at some point I'll do a teardown of this. One thing I'm really interested to see if this particular radio actually has an AMBI codec, or if it actually implements the AMBI protocol or codec inside the STM32, because I'm fairly certain that's what's inside here. But right now there's no specs available online, and I haven't taken this one apart, but that's something I wanted to do in the future.